Today is our day for studying and reading about the history and life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, so I'm going to begin with the chapter about the location and nature of Arab tribes. Beyond a shadow of doubt, the biography of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam obviously represents a complete picture of the magnificent divine message that he communicated in order to deliver the human race from the swamp of darkness and polytheism to the paradise of light and monotheism. An image, authentic as well as comprehensive, of this message is therefore only attainable through careful study and profound analysis of both backgrounds and issues of such a biography. In view of this, a whole chapter is here introduced about the nature and development of Arab tribes prior to Islam, as well as the circumstantial environment that enwrapped the Prophet's mission. Location of the Arabs. Linguistically, the word Arab means deserts and barren land without water and vegetation. Ever since the dawn of history, this term has been used for the Arabian Peninsula and its people. The Arabian Peninsula is enclosed in the west by the Red Sea and Sinai, in the east by the Arabian Gulf, in the south by the Arabian Sea, which is an extension of the Indian Ocean, and in the north by old Syria and part of Iraq. The area is estimated between 1 million and 1,300,000 square miles. Thanks to its geographical position, the peninsula has always maintained great importance, considering its internal setting. It is mostly deserts and sandy places, which has made it inaccessible to foreigners and invaders, and allowed its people complete liberty and independence through the ages, despite the presence of two neighboring great empires. Its external setting, on the other hand, caused it to be the center of the old world and provided it with sea and land links with most nations at the time. Thanks to this strategic position, the Arabian Peninsula had become the center for trade, culture, religion, and art. Arab tribes. Arab peoples have been divided according to lineage into three groups. 1. Perishing Arabs, the ancient Arabs, of whose history little is known, and of whom were Ad, Thamud, Tessim, Jadis, Imlaq, and others. 2. Pure Arabs, who originated from the progeny of Ya'rub bin Yashjub bin Qahtan. They were also called Qahtanian Arabs. 3. Arabized Arabs, who originated from the progeny of Ishmael. They were also called Adnanian Arabs. Okay, we're going to pause here from the reading, so each day I will read one page and then we will reflect on it, and that will be it. Okay, so basically you can see that the background of the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was of Arab descent. And he came from the children of Ishmael, who was the son of Abraham. Okay, so this is very significant because the promise of Almighty God, the Creator, Allah, to Abraham of making great nations and prophets from his children, from his descendants, that included the Prophet Muhammad. And the amazing thing is that out of the children of Ishmael, the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, was the only prophet that rose up. But from the children of Isaac, Ishaq, came many, many prophets. So that shows you the special nature of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he wasn't just one amongst many, but he was the prophet answering the blessing of Almighty God upon Abraham. And for anyone that has done any study about how the Creator favors people and children, of course, he favors the ones that are the most righteous. And because of their righteousness, he also favors their children, and particularly the firstborn. And this is also very significant because the Jews, they take great pride in the firstborn, and so much so that they tried to change the story of Isaac, Ishaq, and Ishmael, to switch them so that the favor appeared to fall upon Isaac, Ishaq, when really the favor fell upon Ishmael, because he was actually the firstborn son of Abraham. When Abraham was trying to have a son, and his wife Sarah could not have any children, so Sarah allowed Abraham to take her handmaiden, take her as a wife, as a second wife. And immediately she gave birth to, now her name was Hagar, in English that's what they say, in Arabic Hajar. She had a baby boy. And of course Sarah became very jealous of her because she couldn't bear any children, much less a boy. And that was very special to Abraham. He wanted to have a son to carry on, his lineage. And so, so Ishmael was very special to Abraham. And even though he took, Hajar, and her son Ishmael, away into the desert, what is now known as Arabia, and left them there, still he kept going to visit. And there's a long story about this, which we'll get into the history about what happened when he took her and his son and left them in the desert. He did leave them with a little provisions, but the provisions ran out. And that's where later we find about the blessing of the well of Zamzam that Almighty God caused to gush up from under the foot of the boy, Ismail, when they could possibly have died from starvation and thirst. But Almighty God sent provision, a well that gushed up from the foot of Ismail from that area there, which later became known as Zamzam, because Hajar, she was trying to preserve it and keep it from running out, and she said Zamzam, like stop, stop. And this is just a little history of the well of Zamzam, which continues to flow even until today. That in and of itself is one of the great miracles of today, that is still flowing from the time of Abraham, subhanallah, and it's called the well of Zamzam. And of course, wherever water comes up, people can begin to live around it. So Mecca began to be developed around the well of Zamzam, and it's still there today and still flowing in Mecca, the well of Zamzam, which is a part of the rites and rituals of the Hajj itself, to drink some of the Zamzam water, which has great blessings in it, that if a person wants anything, they make a dua before drinking it, and it will be granted if it's something of good that they're asking for, the person is asking for. Okay, so that's it for today's discussion about the history of the Prophet ﷺ. So we already set the stage now of where Arabia is and the Arabs were, and we're going to continue with the history until we finish this particular book, and then we'll go into also the history of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who were like the disciples of Jesus in terms of those who were around him, who wrote down his sayings, his hadiths, what he said, did, and approved of. They were the collectors of that, and the practicers and implementers of that, as well as the recorders of the Qur'an as well. Some of them were the scribes of the Prophet. All right, so we're going to continue, and we're going to read about, and then if we've ever finished, which hopefully we will, even the stories of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, we'll also talk about the history of the prophets themselves. All right, so we have a lot to do. Okay, so remember, Qur'an, then Hadith, and then Seerah. So this is the day of the Seerah, and tomorrow will be the day, the free day. All right, where any topic that you would like me to speak about, comment in the bottom and tell me, and I may consider doing that as a topic for tomorrow for the free day. Otherwise, I'll just pick one, and each Friday, each free day, it can be a different topic. Okay? And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. All right? And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. You'll see the subscribe button over here, and to give a like, thumbs up, and to share. Have a good day. All right. Peace be upon those who follow right guidance. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.